OK, for now, gents, thank you very much. The breaking news is that following his latest disciplinary breach last week, Arsenal's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will no longer be our captain, the club say, and will not be considered for selection for Wednesday's match against West Ham United. So he will not be involved in tomorrow night's game. We know he wasn't involved in their win over Southampton. He arrived back from France late. Arsenal say we expect all our players, particularly our captain, to work to the rules and standards we have all set and agreed. We are fully focused on tomorrow's match. So that the breaking news, a confirmation that he has been stripped of his captaincy. This is just new news to you guys, gentlemen. He missed training. He obviously was supposed to be taking a COVID test, had to wait until it was negative. He arrived back late. Other things I think must have gone on at the club behind the scenes. Things not looking very good there. Obviously dropped in the win over Southampton, not going to be involved on Wednesday night. How do you deal with a situation like this when you're a manager, Paul?
I think he looking at it here, he's put Mikel Arteta in a corner. If you bow to players like that, I think it can kill the dressing room. It really can. Paul will tell you, he's been in a dressing room as well. If you allow that to happen, then I think you're in trouble as a manager. You're in trouble with the rest of the group. And he's not performing, that's for sure. He's not performing either, which maybe make that a little bit easier. I think when you're a captain of Arsenal or whatever big club you're at, you've got a duty, a responsibility to try and lead by example. And if he's done that, being late, other players might think that's acceptable. I think Mikel Arteta's done the right thing. I don't think you can allow that to happen. Different if he was ripping up and scoring. You still probably came to the same conclusion. But it's a difficult one, but he's put him in a corner, but I think he'd no way to move other than do what he's done.
Do you think they needed to make an example of him, Robert, for maybe the younger players as well, in particular, to show, look, we will not tolerate behaviour from anybody?
Well, for everyone in the dressing room. I mean, you look around to your captain, you look around for leadership, and you lead by example. You say about the younger players, subconsciously as a younger player, you're a sponge. You absorb everything in the dressing room. And I think Mikel Arteta, as Paul rightly said, has been backed into a corner. And I think he's made the right decision. But I think this has been coming for a while. This isn't the first time he's been left out of the team for disciplinary reasons. There's clearly a problem with his attitude off the field. And I think the manager's done the right thing, because you can't have that in your dressing room. And as a player, you sit there in a dressing room, and it's normally the same 2 or 3 players every week, and you wonder how the manager's going to deal with it. You'll sit there and you'll think, you're in a meeting and think, late again. Is he going to bother turning up? And that comes all the way through the team. And then there's an atmosphere in the team thinking, he's late again. How's he getting away with that? Oh, he's not turning up for training today because he couldn't come back on an aeroplane. He couldn't get his flight back. And all of a sudden, there's a feeling within the team. If the team's not performing particularly well either, you look around and go, well, he's not bothering, why should I? And the manager can't have that atmosphere in the dressing room. So he's absolutely made the right decision.
Do you think it's been consistent as well with all players? And it's not the first time that this has happened either, have it? You understand Aubameyang has said he has a mother who has health issues, so of course the club is going to let any player be with their parent. It's happened a few times, and when they gave him very strict instructions as to how he was going to get back, how he was going to stay safe, he again went against the club. How difficult is that when you're trying to manage a player, the sensitivities of this situation, but as a manager, you want to try and get the best out of your player and have that relationship with him as well, Paul?
Well, I agree with what you're saying, obviously, if his mum wasn't well, but if the manager said to him, listen, you have to be back by Wednesday, here's the protocols you have to do, you have to get back. I mean, whether the lads fly private jet, I'm pretty sure a private jet wouldn't be late, that's for sure. So you can actually get there in time, but he seems to have pushed it to the limit and thought, well, I'm going to see if I can step over the line here. But again, I'll say it again, when you allow that to happen, it affects everybody else, and then they might think they can do it, and that's no good for the team. It's no good for the other guys, the young guys, even for the experienced guys. I mean, in our day, if that happened, you'd probably have a word with him and say, listen, this is unacceptable, what you're doing, that cannot happen. I mean, I've played with great players, Paul's played with great players, and the great players don't do it. They don't do it. They look after themselves properly, and they do it right. And the top ones certainly look after themselves. But I just find that what he's done, that's not acceptable.